United States of America.
Anyway, welcome to Free Speech Radio here with We the People of Rhode Island. I am the chef cooking up some freedom for you, and we've got the senator here. Senator, how you doing over there?
Howdy, folks.
What's going on?
No, not much.
Are you talkative tonight or what?
I'm confused as to what to say. It was a media rush this week, so many news stories. I hate the whole Osama bin Laden thing. I don't buy a word of it, so I'm kind of confused and foggy, so if you could bear with me tonight. Maybe we should turn our attention to this guy over here, because he looks like he's loaded with things to say.
I do have to warn people that we are filming an episode tonight, so we have two dual cameras going on here. And I wish we were plugged up to the internet so you guys can watch us live. But,
yeah, why can't we do that?
That's coming very soon, very, very soon.
All right.
It's going to take a lot of pressure.
But as we have the Rabbi here tonight.
Yes, how are you? How are you?
Rabbi, how you doing over there?
Rabbi, I don't know. We should maybe vote for a name change on that.
What, you don't like the Jewish implication?
Oh, I have no problem with the Jewish implication.
You don't like Jewish people?
I just... Here we go.
What's the difference?
We're off.
Anti-Semitic.
Jeez.
We're off.
That explains a lot.
Is that First Amendment right, too?
You know, Semites are not only from Israel. Did you know that? A Semite is even a North African.
No, I thought a Semite was some kind of science fiction creature. What the hell is a Semite?
A lot of people think somehow it seems like the Jewish race has hijacked that word Semite. Because when you hear anti-Semitic, people think anti-Jew. But it could be anybody from the Middle East. If you look up in the dictionary the word Semite. So I just thought I'd throw that tidbit out.
Is that like an accusation of the people of the diaspora when the Jews were spread out throughout the world? You just paint them all as Semites and they're all over the place?
No, that was just, you know, like people say, well, you're Asian or there's a word Semites, which means you're from that area of the world. And somehow it's just become attached to the Jews, and that's very unfair.
Yeah, your details are way too complicated. I don't even understand it. It's the whole thing. You'd have to define. That's
complicated?
Well, you'd have to define the word Semite and a whole bunch of other things to understand what the hell you're
Well, do we have a dictionary in the house?
I don't think we keep dictionaries around here.
What's a dictionary?
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, okay. Well, if there is a dictionary in the house, somebody can maybe look up the word Semite and we can find out what it means. So look at Wiki. Do a Google search on the term Semite.
How do you spell it?
S-E-M-I-T-E.
This is the times where I need a laptop so you can run the show over there and Richard doesn't divert you to get off our main operations page and look up weird words that nobody understands.
Well, they use it all the time. People say, you even said anti-Semitic. Are you anti-Semitic?
Oh, I use the word Semitic all the time. You know what? I don't even have a clear definition on what Semitic means.
We're going to find out right now, and you're going to be very surprised.
Okay, stay tuned, people.
Everyone's going to learn something.
S-E-M-I-T-E?
S-E-M-I-T-E, that's correct.
All right, Wikipedia here.
Wikipedia, yes.
They always have long
it's actually a pretty good encyclopedia.
Just read like the first 3 sentences.
Yeah, don't read
Short
all.
attention span theory.
But I think there might even be a map that shows the region, the Semitic region of the world, which includes Egypt and Israel. And
yes, it does. It has a picture of some Middle Eastern...
Even part of North Africa, I think Ethiopia.
It looks like the Semitic language. Map showing this distribution of Semitic languages. It looks like some kind of a peninsula. Okay. All right, so in linguistics and ethology.
Here we go with Brian's pronunciations. I love this.
Semitic from the biblical Shem.
Oh, I am all over
Hebrew.
Oh.
It's Hebrew. Translated as name Arabic. Was first used to refer to a language family of largely Middle Eastern origin, now called the Semitic languages. This family includes the ancient and modern form of Akkadian, Amharic, Arabic, Aramaic, Taiz, Hebrew, Maltese, Phoenician, Tigra, and
those at home you might want to get
a whole bunch of other words. Go check it out for yourself then.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I just got was that Semitic is another word for Arab.
More or less.
So
Wow.
the people who are anti-Semites over there in the Middle East and they hate Jews, they're actually
This is
Semites.
what's so crazy about that word. We say it over here, and we think it just means anti-Jew, and we don't even know what the word means.
Our definitions in the news are just so convoluted and require so much education. How can we possibly filter through all this stuff before the end of the world happens?
Oh, that's right. We get to what now?
Oh, what, May 21st?
Is it May
Yeah, we got
21st?
till the 21st until the whole world starts to end.
Oh, that's
I
the
know.
latest one. Yeah, we got the big one
I'm gonna
here,
cancel
December 21st.
Yeah, this is the
Next year.
the precursor to the big 2012 scare where the whole polar things flip upside down, a solar flare fries us all, technology gone, and we all
That would suck if all the satellites all of a sudden disappeared, got fried. I'll be lost without my
So
cell
that's the
phone.
21st this is supposed to happen?
yeah, May 21st. Well, you know, it's some kind of tribulation where it begins on the
Nice.
21st and ends somewhere around October. So they're going to make
Nice.
the end of the world this long, torturous period instead
Yes.
of... I like the 2012 thing much better because they say it's all going to just like pop, end in a day. I'll take the rising waters instead of the long, drawn-out, torturous thing.
I don't know. Speaking of which, on the plate tonight, because Rabbi, the senator, and the chef here, we cook up some freedom for you, and we serve it cold
Very cold.
for you
Sometimes
guys.
we serve it hot.
Yeah, whatever the hot topic is of the day.
Well, some hot stuff comes from some cold bastards, so
You got that right.
that's the show.
Tonight we got 14 signs that the end has already begun.
Oh
We're
my
going to be talking
God.
about that in a little bit.
Here we go.
Is there Revelation stuff involved in those signs?
No, it's actually
Here we go.
it's actually written by. It seems like it might even be a lefty. Because you know the Civil War is going on, folks. Left versus right, North and South is still continuing on a different spectrum.
Well, I
But,
can't trust the word.
It sounds. This is written as it just might be a liberal, because it does come from naturalnews.com. 14 signs that the end has already begun. But that'll be coming up very shortly on the program tonight.
Oh, I'm just thrilled about that one.
How do you know it's from a lefty?
I am absolutely
Because
thrilled.
Does it
It's
say
really-
things like, because the government outlawed gay marriage, that the gay people unite and form their own faction?
No, I would say because there is nothing biblical whatsoever.
Oh,
Except, well, the
that's a
fact
good
that the
indication.
end is near. Wouldn't that appear biblical to you?
I've met some pretty Christian lefties, or some pretty lefty Christians. Sometimes I suspect that the rabbi over here is a lefty Christian.
It depends on what the view is. Because my views are all over the spectrum depending on the issue.
Well, that's kind of like a bogus statement because the chef over here in the upcoming weeks is about to blow the lid off the whole lefty-righty paradigm and blow everyone's mind, so stay tuned for that. The new Civil War.
Yeah, I got a little video clip preview just for my special friends here.
Really?
Yeah.
All
Got a
right.
little 4-minute clip that I made.
Okay.
Very little narration, but I'm still getting my script. I have everything in the structure set up as a rough draft script, but I'm having it analyzed and make sure everything's correctly because I would like to transcribe that into a text and distribute that as a little mini story.
Do I smell a new public access award coming?
I certainly hope so. That's the only reason why I'm doing it, folks.
I mean, pretty soon you're going to be able to wallpaper the walls with them if you keep this up.
Yep, we are 8-time award-winning public access.
8-time.
8 times.
8-time.
With 10 trophies, folks, because we have gotten 2 trophies because of our charity work for the CFC, the Combined Federal Campaign.
There you go.
Every
10
year,
trophies.
we have created several videos that actually have gone global to help the cause of thousands of different charities.
It'd be a good idea, Adam, if you didn't knock the camera over.
I'm trying. There's a lot of things to keep track of.
Yeah. I tell you though, we should definitely get cameras in here and start having a webcast in here. We'll be
All
chucking
right.
you people out there and listening to land moons.
I got excited about the trophies. I wanted to make sure.
Now,
that
what people know now when we talk about cats,
Yes.
that in fact, there is a cat in the studio.
It's a big black cat.
It's
There's
a studio cat.
tons of bad luck going across the. They're crossing our verbal
My
path.
favorite type of cat, black cats.
Wow. Hey, Richard, you have posted something on Facebook earlier today about
That's right.
Social Security insurance, because last week we had a poll question.
Well,
What
that
was
wasn't this week. That was A week or two.
I think a couple of weeks ago we had a poll question, and lately, because yesterday or the day before I upgraded the group, We the People on Facebook.com group. If you go to Facebook.com, you can search We the People of Rhode Island, and you will see a group page where you can join. There's like 300 members or so. But I upgraded it to the newest format, and everybody got an alert. But and actually we've had, because we reminded people that we're here, and they went there and they actually answered some poll questions, so we'll be discussing that in several minutes.
I think the question was so good that it took like 3 weeks for the respondents to kind of digest the whole. And like finally this week we started getting some responses to the Social Security question. It's a great question. It's a really good question.
What is the question, Rabbi?
The question is, should people that are wealthy or that don't need Social Security collect it?
Like as in politicians, millionaires.
Whoever earns, whatever figure they decide to draw, wherever they decide to draw the line, what are they, 200,000, whatever. If they've got enough money to retire on, they shouldn't be collecting Social Security. That's my point.
Because you say it's more like an insurance policy for those people who find themselves retired and hard up, they're eating cat food or whatever. They're gonna need that.
It was meant for those that were destitute in their older years, not people that were millionaires or were making $500,000 a year or had 3 homes.
All right. See, normally I would say that if you paid into something, you deserve to get every penny of that back. But the nature of Social Security is questionable. I thought about it a lot after you said it. I think it is more of an insurance policy. And, rich people who are just collecting that money as some kind of bonus or a reward for being a working, productive American, that's not what it's all about. But the responses that we got on Facebook to this question were about 50-50.
Right.
And it was 50-50 between the people who said that Social Security is just a giant Ponzi scheme and nobody should get it at all, and the people who said that no, absolutely not, well-to-do people should not be able to collect Social Security if they're well-fed, sheltered, drive a decent car, and all that jazz. But the element that we did not have in the Facebook responses was the people saying, not one single person said, yes, you should be able to collect Social Security because you paid into it.
I thought we had a couple that said yes. I guess I didn't read all.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but yeah.
Well, the key is it's insurance. That's the key. Most people do not look at it as insurance. They look at it as an IRA or some sort of a retirement account. But it is insurance. And, nobody would go to their car insurance company or their, and say, look, I haven't had an accident. However, I would like to collect for the rest of my life. Any other insurance, you wouldn't even conceive of that. You understand that the money goes to the people who need it and that you're not going to get that money back. So I don't understand how it is that Social Security changed, but in people's minds, they still think it's an IRA instead of an insurance policy.
Well, I'm sure the federal books that define Social Security are like, 4 Oxford English dictionaries stacked on top of each other. There's probably 20,000 pages that explain our Social Security system.
Imagine.
So I'm wondering if any of those millions of pages where they define that Social Security is an insurance. But.
Well, if you look, I don't think you have to look too far. Just go to the government websites and you'll see the word insurance. It's just that in a lot of people's minds, somehow it's been changed. And they just see it as a retirement account, and it is not a retirement account. It was originally set up for people who needed bare bones living expenses if they had none in their old age.
Right, so that we didn't have any impoverished elderly who worked their whole lives to make this a good nation that end up eating the cat food.
Now, of course, there's other people that need it, disabilities, whatever, catastrophic illness, different things. But generally, once again, that's insurance. They're collecting because they have developed a need of some sort. So it's just one of those things, and you never hear anyone talking about it, and I'm sure you won't hear the Republicans talking about it, because the thought of stopping Social Security for some people or anybody seems to be the third rail in politics.
Well, that if the federal government were to come out and say we've decided to just cold cut the Social Security program. That might be the outrage.
That would be beyond outrage, I think.
That would be a new
You would
term.
see people throwing stones that probably normally wouldn't even lift a spoon, you know.
But I got to tell you personally, I don't even consider Social Security. I can't ever remember a time a thought crossed my mind where I said, well, you know, if things get hard up, I don't make myself successful in life, there'll always be Social Security, I'll never be homeless and whatever. That thought has never crossed my mind. I don't depend on it, and I don't think other people should either. I consider it more of an insurance policy. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, somehow it's changed. Now, as far as it being a Ponzi scheme, I just want to say this one thing. For the majority of people, they pull out much more out of Social Security than they ever put in. So, in that sense, it's not a Ponzi scheme, because the people that put in Social Security that are living off of it for 20 years sometimes, compared to what they put in and what they get out, they do very, you pull out a lot compared to what you put in.
You're saying that the actual payments that go to elderly people in some cases amount to more than what they
Well,
actually paid in?
yeah, once they start collecting their full Social Security, their 1,000 or whatever it is a month,
Right.
if you really look over the years at how much they put in compared to how much they end up taking out, they take out much, much more, most people, than they ever put in.
So if they lived to like 120 years old, say that
They made out like bandits.
they actually profited.
Well, they don't even have to live to 100. I think they pay, I think within like 10 years of Social Security, you've gotten everything back that you put in. And after, I think it's 10 years, after that it's gravy.
See, I look at this in a different way, and it's a lot like private banks. You put your money in a private bank, they fractional reserve banking, whatever. They take your money and they invest it in big other accounts, and a bunch of suit and ties become millionaires off it. But you never see a penny of that profit, other than the the percentage accrued on your account for holding that account at a private bank. But I wonder if Social Security works in the same way, and I really honestly have never looked into it. If we are giving the federal government money, and they're turning around and borrowing from the Social Security account to invest in overseas this and Swiss bank that and whatever, oil futures and OPEC and whatever, and once again making suit and ties, billionaires, and we never see a penny of that profit from the Social Security, wouldn't that make it a Ponzi scheme?
That would, sure.
Well, I mean, we're going to have to define
But seeing what people are pulling out was my point. It depends on, I guess, which angle you want to look at it from. For most people, it's not a Ponzi scheme. For most people, they pull out more money than they put in.
Well, if I ever become old and bankrupt, I'm definitely going to yell and scream for my Social Security payments.
I must say that I've been out of this little discussion that you guys are having because I'm on Facebook right now and I'm reading all the
Really?
comments on it.
Oh, good.
So I'm quite amazed right now, and my ADD's kicking in right now, so I'm
Oh,
doing
you
what I
have
can.
ADD? My diagnosis was correct?
So you say. Nobody else seems to think so, except my psychiatrist.
I think you're doing pretty
They're
good
all
juggling
half
all the things that you juggle over there.
Well, the thing is where I'm having a little difficulty. For some reason, my computer seems like it's going to crash any second here.
Well, that's because it's
And,
the size of a matchbook.
Yeah, but it runs good all day. I don't know why.
You multitasking?
Yes, I've got 4 things going on right now.
We just proved that he does not have ADD.
Well, ADD are wonderful multitaskers.
I just want to say a shout out to Wesley Patriots out there. Yoo-hoo!
Yes.
What's up there, Wesley
I
Patriots?
still like to know who they are.
All right, how about we just give them a round of applause for tuning in every week.
Thank you to all our 30,000 listeners, including Westerly Patriots.
Yes.
Who's one person, by the way, who represents a whole group of people in the southern part of our weird state.
Yep. But I think Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. I'm not collecting it. I mean, I'm nowhere. I'm like 30 years away from it, whatever. But by the time I hit it, it'll probably be 40. And rumor has it that by the time I do reach that age to collect on it, it will be bankrupt. So I'm not too thrilled about it.
That's the speculation, that there's no money in there now.
Now, when I first got aware of the political mishaps of this country, when I woke up, it was probably during the Clinton administration, and I really woke up, of course, 9/11, because 9/11 changed everything. But the Clintons, the economy seemed good back then. and they were bragging about, oh, the Clinton administration is so good, blah blah blah, balance the budget, this and that.
No, I hate the Clintons.
Well, the thing about it is, like, the reason why the budget was balanced was because they ripped off Social Security.
Not only that, they created billions and billions and billions of dollars that were completely worthless and fed it into the system, and it was a fake prosperity.
Now, this is absolutely crazy. Free Speech Radio on 990 WBOB.com. Taking phone calls anytime that you people want to get off your computers right now and pick up the phone and call 401-781-5602. The Free Speech Hotlines. Coming up after this break. Anyway, we got some good things coming up later. 14 reasons why the world is ending as of right now. That's coming up next. Yeah, it's very interesting. But
scary.
Folks out there, stay tuned. Free Speech Radio, 990 WBOB.com.
Hello, people. This is Johnny K. of We the People of Rhode Island Free Speech Media. I regret to say that I am excusing myself from my position with We the People of Rhode Island. The primary reasons for my decision are financial hardship, caused by the economy, my poor decisions, thievery, various inequities that have occurred along the way, the selfish motivations of various people in quote-unquote freedom groups that clamor for exposure but can't find it within themselves to reach in their freaking pockets and make a small donation to the cause. It's pretty expensive to do what We the People of Rhode Island does. I'm the guy who would name names here, but I won't. So not to jeopardize the cause going forward. Also, the time factor has become increasingly difficult to juggle time with my family, my job, and We the People of Rhode Island. When I was asked to help with this project, the overriding mission was to inform, educate, and entertain. I must say, in the 3 years that I've been involved, I have been informed, educated, and entertained by all who have participated on the TV show, the radio show, the emails, and especially the Free Speech Hotline. All you TV viewers out there, keep calling that hotline. Before I scat, I would like to thank some people who have done these three things: inform, educate, and entertain, for me. And in this case, I will name names. Thanks to Brian Crowley, Joyce Crowley, Adam Cole, Bob Oliveira, Paul and his father, Charles, Joe Procaccini, Joe Hart, Sam Tasha, and the person I learned the most from, Sue Burge. Thanks a lot, everyone. At this point, I am going to get back to the earth and put my head back in the sand and refocus my energy on being a dumb truck driver and not waste my energy trying to be someone else. Until we meet again, and as I have said on numerous occasions, pay attention, people. I am out.
Hi, I don't have a computer. Now, I'm a firm believer in my constitutional rights and the amendments. And I'm a firm believer in watching religiously Glenn Beck, 5 o'clock. I know what we're about. And I'm tired. I'm just tired of this socialism stuff. Well, I'll try to talk to a real person soon. I don't know where you guys meet anymore. But I just want to get a hold of you guys because I know what's happening to America, and it makes me cry inside, I really want to help out. I really want to help out America. We're in a hard time. I'm telling you, Well, if I can help, please give me a call. I can't stress it enough, All right, I really want to help out. All right, God bless America. You have a good day, and wish you luck. Bye.
And we're back. Free Speech Radio on 990 WBOB.com. Things are happening here.
Oh, we're back, yes.
Yes.
This show might go to hell in a hay-basket real quick. Let's see.
We just got notified that we may have a surprise guest storming in at any moment.
Storming in.
He doesn't just walk in. This guy storms in. He doesn't even have to try. His whole persona comes with the storm.
I'm well aware of his persona.
Let's see what happens. But we got
I think I just heard
coming
it
up.
close.
Toward the end of the show is going to be This Week in History, as always. I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to try to blow your mind with some oddballs.
Well, I guess everybody out there during that commercial break had a special surprise that we didn't know about.
What happened?
They heard us throughout the commercials.
Did we say anything bad about the listeners?
I'm having comments right now as we speak.
What have we said? No, I forget.
Dan's gonna kick Richard's ass because he was talking about it.
Oh my God!
Oh, well, speaking of which,
Oh my
here he
God!
is. Sound the alarms. Our special guest has arrived. This is going to be an unadulterated, bloody cage match.
We should have never announced the cameras are on.
Okay, let's get back on track.
all right. Hey, guess who just walked in the studio here? Senator, who is it?
And this is the world famous Dan Bidondi, the Truth Warrior, and everybody knows him. He's got his own radio show here locally. He's got a show here on 990WBOB.com, Renegade Radio, and he's definitely a renegade who has a home here. Sometimes inflammatory, sometimes absolutely factual.
Sometimes inflammatory.
We will, that's why I said that for you. So let's carry forth and see how this goes. How are you, Dan?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for stopping in. This is definitely gonna.
Like I said, we should have never said the cameras are on, because as soon as you heard that, I'm sure you jumped in your car and you just flew down here, right?
Yeah.
So where are we going next? What's on the menu, Chef?
Well, Dan, the Bionic Truth Warrior. What we were about to discuss, we were going to wrap up Social Security because Richard says that it's an insurance Ponzi
He's too old
scheme.
for Social Security.
He's not ready for it yet, though.
He outgrew Social Security?
Rabbi,
That's impressive.
quick recap. What was Social Security?
Insurance policy.
Insurance policy that you believe...
It's not an IRA. I believe the people that are wealthy should not collect on Social Security. There's no reason millionaires should be paid a monthly check from the government.
We're not even talking millionaires. I'm talking more like people who are well-fed, well-sheltered, and have a decent
exactly.
cover.
Exactly. But I mean, I just say millionaires, you know. But it could be. I mean, if you're making $700,000 a year, you should be collecting a check every month. Come on.
Yep. So we got a couple of comments here about that because we asked actually a couple of weeks ago, and lately we got some call-ins. I mean, not call-ins.
Facebook responses, which come in very, very heated.
Yeah.
People say a lot of stuff, but I want to know Dan's opinion on the Social Security question. What do you think?
So I don't mean a normal person. If they work their butts off all their life, I think they have a right to collect it. But I mean, again,
even if they're wealthy,
I kind of side on your side here with this because if you're making X amount of money,
now just so people know whose side, tell people who you're agreeing with.
Richard. No, I kind of agree. If you're making like 6 digits or more, yeah, I agree. You shouldn't. I mean, that your pensions or whatever, it should go to a good cause or something. I mean, like if you're making hundreds of thousands a year, why collect a check from the government?
All right. So if that's the case, if you're making all that loot and you're not eligible to receive it at your time, should you even bother putting in then?
It's an insurance policy. Yeah. You pay your premiums.
Yeah, so just in case you have the insurance, just in
so
case.
you automatically pay in, but you might not receive.
Same thing with car insurance. Same thing with health insurance.
Great point. Great point.
Right?
And
I agree with Rich.
Same thing with house insurance.
I agree with him. On the other hand, too, if you worked your life for it, I mean, you are entitled for it. But I mean, I think it should be some kind of cap to how much you're making. I mean, to be able to collect Social Security.
All right. Can I do a quick recap? David Rocca says that nobody should get Social Security. What do you think about that?
Well, there's a lot of people.
How old is David Rocca? That's what I'd like to know.
He's probably late 20s.
Oh, there you go.
30s maybe.
Let's see what he says when he's 55.
All right. How about David Toppin says that isn't how they sold it back in the day.
Actually, It's probably not being sold that way now, but that wasn't the way it was sold in the beginning.
He also says it's a Ponzi scheme, pure and simple.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, they're already attacking Social Security. I mean, Obama's trying to eliminate his John P. Holdren and whatever SARS in the White House. They already calling to eliminate Social Security in the first place. So, you know. Obama, yep. He wants to eliminate Social Security.
If it is a Ponzi scheme, I just brought up the point right before you walked in, Dan, that this would be another instance where the federal government is taking money out of our pockets. We're investing in this insurance plan, but it goes into an account, and they take the money from that account, invest it into all sorts of freaking oil futures, and God, let your imagination fly.
Oh, yeah.
And suits and ties are getting billions of dollars, and we're seeing nothing. We're lucky to get the payments.
Joyce Bryant on Facebook says, no, absolutely not. And Mike Rollins also commented, as they don't deserve it. The rich people shouldn't. All right. It means testing Social Security with an admission that it always has been a welfare program. You know, means testing Social Security will be an admission that it always has been a welfare program.
Means testing. She's saying means testing. She didn't. I know what she's saying.
Not she. That's Mike Rollins.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I know Mike. He's a pretty smart guy, and I kind of also agree with him. It is a welfare program.
Yeah.
In essence, yes.
If you look at it.
Yeah.
But like David Rocca said, that nobody should collect a Social Security. There's also the class of people out there who say it's an absolutely unconstitutional idea that the federal government shouldn't have anything to do with making sure that you're well-to-do. That's up to you entirely as a free, independent human being. So it's kind of that's a very thin line that we're walking here, even given our opinions on this topic.
Well, one of the reasons it was put into place was because so many people were being dumped on the federal doles because they had no place to live and they had, so the bottom line is the government's going to have to pay for these people one way or the other. If they don't have, if you're sick and you need health care and you don't have the money, in a civilized society, there's some means to take care of that.
Well, go ahead, Chad.
Wesley Patriot says, I want out of Social Security, and it sounds like a Rhode Island public pensions thing. It's just a Ponzi scheme, right?
I'm not even sure I'm willing to take the jump and say I want out of Social Security.
I know young people. I know young people who are in it, and because they're disabled or whatnot.
Oh, I got to comment on that. If it's one class of people who are spoiling the Social Security system is the people. I know personally of a few of them, and there must be millions more who purposely go out of their way to have themselves declared mentally incompetent and physically ill. Right, so they can not work their day job and they can sit back in their apartment and watch, Jerry Springer or whatever they do and collect that menial Social Security.
I know a lot of people like that. I mean, they got nice apartments, and meanwhile we work our butts off. We're lucky to afford an apartment and everything else, car payments, and these people just get everything handed to them.
Right, and they say, oh, well, it's because I got ADD and OCD and all these acronyms that just, they're debatable whether or not they even exist, but these people have manipulated the system.
I mean, these people, that ADD is a crock. Because if they like cars, they'll tell you inside out car, how it's built and everything. But it's just all it is an excuse for laziness, I think.
We touched on this, week before last, where Richard was saying even the ADD individual who's diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, if you give them a topic that they are interested in, all of a sudden they become a master.
That's true. I agree with that.
I'm one of those people, I know.
Are you calling me ADD?
No, I just looked up for you at the beginning of the show.
We didn't even mention your name.
I said, look
at you. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I thought you were making fun of me. Hey, all right, folks. While we're here, we got the Truth Warrior, Dan Bidondi here. Dan, would you mind sticking around for the 14 signs that the end has already begun?
Does it look like he's going anywhere?
None of those 14 signs, by the way, are biblical, which led the chef to the assumption that the author of this might be a lefty. So we'll give it a go.
All right. Well, because this came straight from naturalnews.com.
Naturalnews.com. Wow.
Why, you guys like
Well, that's all you had to say. That's 100% credibility.
Is that like a nudist site or something? Really?
Sounds like it might be.
You sounded awful familiar with it. I'm all curious.
Well, Natural News is on health foods and all that, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
They give it away in the stores.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so credibility? Are you,
So
is that
it's a-
sarcasm? or what?
Why'd you pull some biographies?
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure a health food magazine should be talking about the end of the world. But
Well, I
you know,
went
just my
there,
opinion.
and they have a lot of interesting topics.
Okay.
All right, but just to get things rolling here, the number one reason tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis are all happening like a fluke. But now it's a pattern. You know, the weather is becoming increasingly extreme. Over 120 recently struck the U.S. Midwest, Texas. The fires and extreme drought. You know, there's crazy things going on. The earthquakes in Japan and Haiti, and
why does that indicate the end of the world?
because it's getting ridiculously amount of weather incidences.
Oh, can I fill in the missing Bible references here? That the earth will shake and the fires will rage. There will be wars and rumors of wars and all that.
And also describes in the Bible how these things come as birth pains. And if you notice, within the last 2 years, I've been keeping track of this myself. Within the last 2 years, we've got more earthquakes, just earthquakes alone, than in I don't even know how far back altogether. I mean, like it's just been insane. Like I categorize everything that's happened in 2010. 2011 already toppled everything from 2010. 2010 toppled everything just from the whole decade alone. And not even 5 months, 4 months into the year, 5 months, and we've already toppled 2010. And it's described as birth pains, as the Bible says. And you know, as a woman gets closer to birth, they come more severe and more closer together.
Contractions.
Exactly.
Damn. How about this one? Silence of the bees.
Oh
Bees.
no.
The bumblebees. Seriously, I don't see any more.
Colony collapse disorder.
Not the bumblebees, the honeybees. Yeah,
Any
colony
kind of bees.
collapse disorder.
When I was younger, I had hornets' nests everywhere, in bees' nests everywhere in my yard. I don't see them anymore. I haven't seen them in the past 10 years.
I contest this theory. They say that all the honeybees are disappearing and they're not pollinating plants. And somebody said that, what did they say? Einstein said that if all the bees disappear, that we'd only have 4 years of existence left.
Well, that would be disastrous, actually.
Well, that was debunked. Einstein never said anything like that. But what I heard through a lot of scientific, people and a lot of radio shows and a lot of study I put into it, Richard C. Hoagland is one guy that you could comment on, would say that only the commercialized bees, or wild bees that have been affected by the commercialization of beehives and honey production, are the ones that are dying. Yet the wild honeybees, who are still classically wild honeybees, are doing just fine.
I don't know if that's the case, but I have read that there is a problem. They're still not 100% sure what it is, although they seem to be narrowing it down. And they're able to stay ahead of it still at this point. That they thought they weren't going to be able to, but now they say that regardless of how it works out, they'll be able to stay ahead of it, so it's not going to be quite the catastrophe that people thought. But it's a mystery. It's still a mystery, I think.
What do you mean they'll stay ahead of it?
In other words, they can build new colonies faster than they can lose them.
Or put in giant screens with bee porn on every street corner? And the bees
However
will-
they do it,
Whatever.
They claim they can build more colonies faster than they can die off.
The failure of nuclear science. The Fukushima catastrophe proves one thing. Scientists are dangerously arrogant in their planning of large-scale projects.
Agreed.
Agreed, yeah, definitely. I mean, they won't stop at nothing. They green science, they're powered by the world bankers anyway. The bankers tell these people what to do. Like at Fukushima, they could have easily cemented that, like they did in the Russian one. Chernobyl. And they easily put it on the cement like they did there, but they don't, because they want to save it, because it's going to cost their corporations a lot of money. They don't care about human lives. I mean, human life does not exist to their minds. I mean, it's all about the green. That's all it's about.
If I could touch on what Dan just said, rest assured, if there's a tragedy, that somebody's going to figure a way to capitalize off that thing. And for all we know, companies that resemble something like Halliburton or whatever are already drawing up contracts to control this meltdown, which has not ended yet. So don't put it past them.
The vicious pursuit of WikiLeaks. In an age of
This has to do with the end of the world?
In an age of such rampant deceit, there is no room for the truth. So those who tell the truth, as in WikiLeaks, are viciously pursued as if they were criminals.
That's happened throughout history. And while I'm at it, so has storms and earthquakes, and we don't even have the figures for how many there were, say, 1900 years ago. So,
just a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you believe in dinosaurs, or do you think the world was created 7,000 years ago?
Oh, I believe in dinosaurs.
Okay.
And the
I'm
world
just wondering how deep you go
still
into
could
the
have been
Bible.
created 6,000 years.
Man lived with the dinosaurs. I mean, that's easily.
And we ate them, huh? That's why they're not here.
No, not necessarily. We didn't eat them necessarily, but it's possible. I believe that scientific dating is going to, sometime in the near future, or maybe in our lifetimes, maybe not, is going to have a total revolution in change in how they date things. I think the dating's a way off because they keep changing the dates for everything.
One thing I'll
take
tell
the-
you is that carbon dating is completely.
I mean, you know, first they said
Yeah.
man was this old, and now it's this old, and then the Earth is this old. Well, now it's this. I mean, they keep changing it every 2 to 3 years, so they're not accurate with the dating, and I think
Oh
that's
no,
going to
yeah,
change.
he's right about that. I mean, like, well, I had Richard on my show. We did a thing on evolution and creation, and evolution is full of holes, gaps, contradictions. I mean, it's just we could be here all night talking about that.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
missing link.
Yeah, the Piltdown Man hole.
Links. There's like a missing links, plural.
All right, how about this one?
Oop,
Wrong
wrong
button.
sound.
All right,
No,
number
no,
5.
no.
Okay.
Let's do it right. We're on TV.
The rise of the medical police state. The armed SWAT raids on Marianne Godbaldo.
Who?
Some woman, Marianne Godbaldo, in Detroit are only the beginning. Now, the truth is that the medical system uses guns to force its vaccines and chemotherapy onto children and teens across America.
That's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, I cover this in my documentary, "The American Police State to Protect and Serve the New World Order." It's covered. I mean, we are a police state. I mean, the last couple of years, the police state has gotten much worse. I mean, look at it now. Just since this so-called threat of Al Qaeda stepping up to avenge Osama bin Laden, it's a giant hoax. They want to push a huge tyrannical police state on America, and they keep strangling the American people. And they got the backscatter vans patrolling neighborhoods. They got the screens at Walmart. They're sticking their hands down people's pants at the airports. They're now train stations. I mean, this stuff is just unbelievable what's going on.
You see why I love Dan Bidondi? Not because he drives the rabbi nuts, but because I agree with most of what he says.
They're sticking their hands down the pants.
Exactly.
What, you miss the mainstream media where they're literally jamming their hands down the pants of little girls at the airport? The parents flip out, so the parents get called
That was
terrorists and
one
arrested.
incident.
I got
That's good enough.
I got a stack of
By
files.
somebody who obviously didn't follow the procedures.
Well, one is one too many.
That's not one. I got a stack just from the last 2 weeks of TSA. That much stacks of TSA violent, a 6-year-old girl, just a newborn baby, basically. They patted the kid down, molesting the kid. I got stacks of news on it. I mean, like, if I pulled just the last month alone on TSA, I would have probably a stack about this much news from mainstream media and alternative news.
You know what? The same way that pedophiles go into the priesthood and that, guys who want power go into police work, I would guarantee that there's some perverts who go into the TSA.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, how would you be able to tell that? You have to show each individual a test and show them a video. And if it's a male, it'll be like, show them kiddie porn and see if they get
That's
turned
why
on.
I'm going to invent
You know
the
what I
wiener
mean?
meter. And they put this thing on the wiener and then they show them the videos.
You're
And
going
if
to invent
they
this.
have any increase in size, they're a
You better patent that ASAP.
Well, here's a quick fact. 2 weeks ago, it was a TSA, I forgot the guy's name. He was arrested for distributing child pornography. Now, TSA, Michael Chertoff went off to say, and Department of Homeland Security's Jen Napolitano went to say, they don't store, record, or transmit these images to AIT machines. When this guy took the images of kids from the AIT machines and posted on Facebook and put them out as child porn, he was arrested by the Department of Homeland Security, contradicting their own statements. I mean, these people put their own foot in their mouth. It's not conspiracy theorists. It's these own people who put their own foot in their mouth.
Dan, you said conspiracy theory.
That's our conspiracy theory sound effect. Right?
All right, how about this one? The runaway destruction of the world by energy companies. The radioactive fallout from Fukushima isn't the only way in which energy companies are destroying our world. Don't forget about the Deepwater Horizons and the massive oil spill in the Gulf.
Oh, that's still not forgotten about. And the mainstream media is acting like the Gulf is all done and said with. I got communications with people down there. They're having so much problems down there with pollution. I mean, it's not over yet. Not even far from over.
No, it's not.
They're still not allowed to go swimming on those beaches they used to swim in, so that's the indicator. Right?
I saw a BP commercial saying that the fish are fresh, come on down and eat.
Oh, yeah.
They're not in Louisiana.
Feel like an oily dinner, yeah.
All right, how about this one? The continued GMO contamination of our planet. This is the world's worst chapter in the coming collapse, the widespread genetic pollution of the planet through GMOs. Now, this is a crime against nature and against humanity. It's a gene spill that may be contained as it spreads its deadly DNA across the world's food crops.
Well, talk straight by
Tell
Monsanto.
people what GMO means, so they'll know.
Genetically modified organisms.
And Monsanto is one of the main distributors of GMO seeds. I mean, they even put tax. In other words, they'll go to the depths of this. They'll go to a private organic farm. They'll drive a truck with hay with seeds on it. Have the seeds blown to their farm to say, "Hey, wait a minute! I got traces of our copyrighted seed in your crops." They shut the farms down. They spray through the air also. I mean, they're closing down. I got stacks of news reports how they're putting a stranglehold on private farms, homemade, organic farms and everything, because they want to distribute nothing but GMO foods out to the people. And they're telling people now, if you should seek psychological review if you want to eat organic. I mean, this has all been documented in mainstream media.
What?
Monsanto Corporation. No. If I can wrap this up as quickly as possible, what Dan said, and we'll undo that sound effect or play it backwards or something in a second. Monsanto Corporation has been known to move into areas which they have purchased and raise their own patented genetically modified crops. Now, next door to their land is a farmer who grows organic crops. Well, they will make sure, one way or another, be it bees or be it breeze, that the pollen from their patented crops blows over and infects some poor private farmer's cornfield, cotton field, what have you. And then they will go inspect that farmer's crops and say, "You have infringed upon our patent. We're suing you. We're taking all your land because the crops you're growing take our patent without permission." And this is a type of food terrorism on behalf of Monsanto.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the question I was asking about. What's this? If you want to have, you have to be mentally examined. If you
No,
want to
there was a score of articles I read over the last few months.
Score?
The score, like a lot of articles. One of the children was bringing organic. This is why Chicago, Illinois, they had a banned kids from bringing lunches home and from your home to school. And
Actually, that was undone. That was undone 2 days after it reached the media.
well, I mean, that's what they're pushing for. I mean, if Ragas was undone or not, but what happens, they don't want the kids to be organic. The kid brought organic food to school, and they sent the teachers sent the child and the parents up for psychological review because of being too dramatic about things, and they shouldn't be eating organic foods. I mean, this is how ridiculous it sounds. This is what's all over mainstream media.
To make sure that those parents aren't some kind of right-wing
And they-
conspiracy.
yeah,
I'd like to hear the full story. on
They
that.
even target people in supermarkets.
So I think we got a missing page in that story.
Well, they even target people in supermarkets. I mean, if
Targeting
you,
people in
if
supermarkets.
you have too much of a health nut, I mean, you should be sent up for psychological review.
See, this is the
How
talk
are
for
they,
a
how are
4-hour
they targeting
show.
people at supermarkets?
Hang on. I think we should let the chef continue with more ways to end the world.
I still want to know how they're targeting people at supermarkets.
Well, they're targeting everybody. I mean, through
Advertisements.
The tyranny and criminal crackdowns targeting real food, raw milk.
There's that word targeting
You
again.
can't even sell honest farm food in your neighbors without being targeted and arrested by the cops. Something's terribly wrong in the world.
Oh,
This
yeah,
one
we
can't
should-
be disputed. Absolutely not.
No,
They go to farmers who sell eggs on the side of the road and say,
Well,
your
no.
eggs have not been FDA inspected, you're under arrest, turn around, put your hands behind your back and bend over.
Well, they went after those Amish people there not too long ago for selling raw milk. I mean, it's their own farm. If they want to drink raw milk, I mean, who is the United States government to step in? It's not their authority. It's unconstitutional to say you can't sell raw milk. You can't sell organic foods. You know, this is total tyranny, people, and it's all being done through places like Monsanto, like we discussed. I mean, this is just the start of it, of this police state, and it's just ridiculous. It goes through foods and everything else.
The escalation of the counterfeiting of the money supply.
Oh, wow.
Counterfeiting?
Counterfeiting.
Wow.
Well, counterfeiting
Where's
doesn't just
mine?
mean make it
You know,
fake
I don't know
money.
what's counterfeit anymore. They changed the money so much.
It doesn't even matter. It's all
Have you
fake
noticed
anyway.
over the last several years? It's like,
No.
I get a bill, I say, what's that? You know, and it's just five like I've never seen before.
Hold on, let me define counterfeiting. Counterfeiting would be creating a currency that does not have a valuable backing,
Well, that's
such
different.
as gold. That's
That's-
counterfeiting too.
All right, but that's a little bit different.
Well, what he just said there, a way to end the world, that if they're going to just print, paper or cotton or whatever it is, without any gold or any precious or any metals or commodities to back this thing up, it's worthless, manipulatable paper money, and there you go. They can destroy the world economy, thus the end of the world.
Well, I mean, the dollar's even called a fraud. Federal Reserve automated unit deficit, fraud. I mean, they basically spell it out right there.
Pretty good.
The plummeting intelligence of the masses.
Oh, that's number one on my list.
Yeah, that's definitely that's a huge one.
All right, one of the most disturbing signs that we're already in the collapse is the great dumbing down of the masses. The drooling CNN watching television zombies who dominate our landscape over absolutely nothing of value in the world. There are mindless consumers who get vaccinated, watch television, eat processed, pasteurized junk food. They're on psychiatric meds and believe everything the government tells them. Most of these people, of course, won't make it through the collapse.
Well, we call them sheeple. Like people who just sit there and drool like, just shoot me up with your vaccines, Shoot the kids up, keep your mouth shut, and let your kids run around watching Bonnie drooling at the TV like,
and turn on Lost. Make sure you turn on Lost.
I mean, just this stuff pisses me off right there. And, the people call us the conspiracy theorists when they have a kid who can't pass a normal IQ test. Why they sit there, I don't want to get into that, sorry.
Wait, one thing, this really happened one night. On Candid Camera, they had people that were called into the nurse's office in an office building. And the nurse would say to them, we've found that we have a computer virus, and we need to give you a vaccination.
Did people submit to this?
And people rolled up their sleeves.
Wow.
To get a computer virus?
Yes.
What year is this?
This was when Candid Camera was on.
Mid-90s?
No, not the old one, the original one.
Oh,
but
60s,
they came on, they came on for a season or two. I just sat there and I was in shock that these people would so willingly just roll their sleeve up for a shot without even knowing.
Wow, we gotta find that on YouTube.
Before we go on, ladies and gentlemen, turn off your television unless you are watching We the People of Rhode Island.
I forgot one last thing about the mass dumbing down. It's the fluoridation of the drinking water, the municipal population drinking water. I mean, it's sodium fluoride is not natural, so regardless of what your dentist tells you. I just made a documentary on fluoride, the eugenics plot exposed, and it covers all the details, all the scientific, medical details of the dangers of sodium fluoride.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you: was there a reason why you started it out with the Exorcist song?
Well, the reason why I started out with the video, because the Russians and the Nazis used fluoridation taught by the British Crown to dumb down the Jews. That was the whole purpose of sodium fluoridating the water. And they do it
people
today
are
in
being
America.
possessed by fluoride.
Well, I would say they didn't dumb the Jews down. Wouldn't you?
Well, at the
Didn't
time
work.
they did. I mean, they walked around like zombies in a camp when they could easily escaped. And the Jews outnumbered them thousands of one.
Well, I'll say that's probably malnutrition. How about this one? The complete and utter fabrication of the mainstream news.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's
Come
number
on,
one.
what are you talking about?
That's not really happening. Yeah, I looked at it. All right, we'll just skip right over that because that's ridiculous.
That's way,
All right, how about
That's
this
just
one?
so ridiculous.
That's silly
Let's move
conspiracy.
on.
How about this one?
Anyone who believes that isn't
The
nuts.
ongoing pharmaceutical pollution of the world, in which Dan was just talking about that.
Yep, sodium fluoride, vaccinations, GMOs, your food, even so much as chemtrails, geoengineering. I mean, this stuff is so diabolical, folks. It's not.
And
See,
let's
you said
talk about
pharmaceutical
how
more or
about
less.
cigarette smoke, alcohol, and marijuana,
Yep.
and we didn't want to talk about those.
Don't talk
I'm
about
sorry.
those things. I love those things, so shut up.
Those are good, bad
You're
things.
getting evil looking at the cow over there.
No, but he said, the pharmacy, pharmacological, whatever. That's pills. People taking SSRIs. People.
Oh yeah, it's a
nuts.
pill for everything.
That's whatever scientist makes, basically, in a lab, and it's
Yeah,
injected
you hear the pills
somehow.
on TV, or it could cause nauseous, diarrhea, blah blah, and they can right go on, and they say, oh, those pills are not good for you. Oh, but my doctor said it's okay to take them. That's why I'm so drugged up. I'm taking 26 pills a day, but my doctor said it's okay. And you don't need any of those damn pills. I mean, it's just.
Well, let me just add a little counter to that. We are living longer than we've ever lived, and we have a better quality of life in our elder years than we've ever had.
Better quality, the rates of
People are living better. The facts don't lie.
I have
they're
a
living longer
three-word
and they're
answer.
living better.
I have a 3-word answer for why, and it's not what you think. And the answer is variety of food. And all the
You
others.
think it's
are-
their diet that's
No, I think it's the variety of food. Way back in the day, you had a farmer who had pigs, and he was eating bacon every goddamn
all right.
morning. And 3 other items all day long. He died.
Here's a quick stat for that, real quick. We got a bigger population in Japan, especially now. But I mean, There's only over 1,000 people in the United States that's over 100 years old. Japan has over 40,000 people that are over 100 years old. They eat nothing but fish and green tea, and they stick to natural supplements.
Okay, we're going to a break very, very soon, but what time for one more? The radioactive contamination of the global food supply.
I don't know about that.
That's number 14.
I mean, there's radioactivity everywhere. You know, it occurs in nature. I don't think we're going to radioactively contaminate the world's food supply. That it would actually be a monumental task.
Unless we had atomic war or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's every warhead on the planet goes off at once. I think still growing food in your backyard, I think you'll be just fine. As long as the jet stream doesn't change or something globally crazy like that.
We're coming back very, very shortly. Stay tuned after these commercials because we're gonna say hi to Charles from the bunker out there. Wesley Patriot still hanging loose.
Screw you, Charles.
He says, "Yeah, nesting up in your behind." Must be talking about the PSA checking your pooper. All right, stay tuned. Free Speech Radio 990 WBOB.com. This is Benazir Bhutto, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, that was in exile of our country for 8 years before returning to Pakistan and attempting to bring back democracy to her country again. This is an interview done with the BBC network out of London in November of 2007, 1 month before her assassination in December of last year.
In terms of these three people that you mentioned, were they members of or associated with the government?
Yes, well, one of them is a very key figure in security. He's a former military officer. He is someone that has had dealings with Jaish-e-Mohammed, one of the banned groups, with Maulana Azhar, who was in an Indian jail for decapitating 3 British tourists and 3 American tourists. And he also had dealings with Umar Sheikh, the man who murdered Osama bin Laden. He also had dealings with Umar Sheikh, the man who murdered Osama bin Laden. Now, I know that having dealings with people does not necessarily mean direct evidence.
This episode of We the People of Rhode Island's call-in question on the Freedom of Speech telephone hotline at 401-781-5602 is, do you think Osama bin Laden is dead?
.990WBOB.com.
Renegade Radio.
This concludes this program broadcast. We the People, a freedom of speech television show. Go to www.wethepeopleofri.org.